Hello, every pony. This is Princess Twilight Sparkle with Pinkie Pie and Tempest Shadow. And today, we're going to be listening to Thomas and the Beanstalk, which is a Thomas and Friends take on Jack and the Beanstalk. That's right, Pinkie. Well, are you ready on your first time, Tempest? As ready as I'll ever be. Great. I can't wait to see how this goes. All right, let's get this started.
Thomas and the Beanstalk. It was the end of a very busy day on the island of Sodor. As the engine settled down for the night, Thomas the Tank Engine told his friends James and Percy his favorite bedtime story, Jack and the Beanstalk. Percy said he liked the part about the magic beans. James wondered if giants liked steam engines.
Maybe.
The next morning, Thomas went to Farmer McCall's to collect some heavy sacks. Thomas wondered what was inside.
What's in the sacks?
Beans, replied Farmer
Beans!
Beans? Just like in my bedtime story.
Oh,
McCall.
yeah!
With that, Thomas
I
peeped
wonder
his
what beans
whistle
they are. Green
and
beans?
set off to deliver the sacks of beans.
Butter beans? Jelly beans? Pinkie.
Suddenly, a big mean engine called Diesel 10 appeared around a bend,
Oh!
shouting at Thomas as he sped past.
Get out of my way, little toy tank engine.
Oh, that Diesel
Thomas
10!
couldn't move fast enough. Crash! Diesel
Uh-oh.
10 bashed into him
Oh.
and raced off. Poor little Thomas was forced off the tracks and tipped over onto his side,
Oh!
spilling the beans out of his cars.
Oh, no.
Thomas opened his eyes, dazed and confused. To his surprise, he was back on the rails.
Huh?
He noticed
What?
some of the beans were scattered in the grass next to the tracks. Pop! A tiny green leaf shot straight out of the ground.
Oh!
The tiny leaf began to grow into
Ooh.
a big plant. Then it got bigger
The
and
Beanstalk!
bigger
Well, I'll be.
until it
Whoa.
became a giant towering beanstalk, stretching all the way up into the sky. The giant beanstalk looked like the one in his story, all leafy and green, and bigger than any tree Thomas had ever seen.
Wowzer!
This beanstalk had railway tracks circling all the way up to the top.
Wow!
Thomas was a little scared, but he was also very curious. So he decided to be brave and ride up the tracks to see what was at the top of the beanstalk.
Oh, careful, Thomas.
Thomas chuffed and puffed, around and around,
Excuse
higher
me.
and higher, right up through the clouds.
Ooh.
Finally, Thomas reached the top. He could hardly believe his eyes.
What is it?
There, up above the clouds, Thomas had discovered a giant magical world. He was
Woo.
surrounded by gigantic trees, enormous colourful flowers, and in front of him was a huge towering castle.
Ooh!
Bust my buffers. Everything is so big.
I bet Thomas feels
chuffed
like a toy
slowly along
train.
the tracks
I bet he
to
does.
the castle courtyard.
As big as everything is, he should.
Thomas heard the sound of a steam whistle. It was the most beautiful
Ooh.
whistle Thomas had ever heard. He looked around, but couldn't see where it was coming from. Boom! At that moment, the ground beneath him began to shake. Boom!
Oh!
Boom! It
Oh,
continued.
no. The
Suddenly,
giant!
a gigantic foot landed in front of him. Boom!
Giga!
Thomas looked up and saw a man towering over the entire courtyard.
A
It
giant!
was a giant, just like the giant from Thomas's bedtime story.
Oh, my.
In the giant's enormous hand was a gleaming gold steam engine. The giant put the gold engine down on the railway track. To Thomas's surprise, the giant started to push the gold engine back and forth on the track. All the while he made peeps and whistle sounds in his booming voice. The giant
He sounds
was
like a
playing
really
with the little
big
engine
adult
as if she
kid.
were a toy.
Yeah.
Then a loud horn blasted nearby.
Yeah!
Thomas looked
Whoa!
and saw that mean engine Diesel 10 approaching. Only this time he was enormous. Big enough for the giant to
A
ride.
Steamy's worst
The
nightmare!
giant left the little gold engine on the track and walked over to the huge Diesel. Thomas saw his chance. He hurried over to speak to the gold engine.
What is this place?
The gold engine looked unhappy.
It's the giant's castle. I don't like it here. I want to go home.
She
Oh,
told Thomas that
it
she
would
had
have been
been
nice
taken
if
away
this
from hell,
golden engine was
where she
lady.
was a very special
Yeah.
engine.
I run on golden coal. But here, I'm just the giant's favorite toy.
Oh,
Thomas wanted to
poor
help the gold
golden
engine.
engine.
I don't know how to get to your home from here, but I can take you back to mine. You would be safe and happy there.
Oh,
Thomas
that's
told
nice
her
of
about the island
Thomas.
of Sodor, where everything was the right
Oh, I
size
just
for them.
realized the golden engine is
But
supposed to
how
be
do
like
we
the
get
heart.
to Sodor?
I climbed up a giant beanstalk to get here. It's this way.
Or was it the bird that
But
lays the
Thomas
golden
began
eggs?
to slow down, then finally puffed to a halt.
Oh,
Thomas had used up all his coal climbing the beanstalk.
uh-oh.
The gold
Oh,
engine
no.
knew how she could help.
Take some of my golden coal. Quickly. I think I have just enough to get
Will
us
it
both out
work?
of here.
Let's find out.
With the special gold coal in his hopper, Thomas felt magical.
Ooh.
His pistons puffed faster than ever before as he raced out of the castle.
Go,
with the golden
Thomas!
engine following.
Hurry,
close
Thomas,
behind.
go!
At that moment, the giant made a loud sniffing noise.
Uh-oh.
I smell steam.
His
Uh-oh.
thunderous voice
Not good.
boomed across the
Oh,
courtyard.
no. Oh, boy.
3, 5, 4, thumb. I see 2 engines on the run. If they're toys or if they're real, I'll now have 2 engines to steal.
Ah! Run, Thomas, run!
Thomas and the gold engine.
Run!
Thomas sped up, heading towards the top of the beanstalk.
Run, run, run!
Thomas and the gold engine
Oh, boy.
barreled down, down the tracks, spinning around and around the beanstalk until they reached the bottom. Thomas was relieved.
You made it. We're in Sodor.
Safe and sound.
But when the 2 engines looked up, they were shocked to see that
Huh?
the giant was coming down the beanstalk
Ah!
after them.
No!
Oh no!
Oh, no!
Sodor is full of engines. The giant will take them all for his toys.
No!
Thomas did the only thing he could think of. He backed up and raced forward, bashing into the beanstalk with all his might.
Cut it down!
He saw his friends James and Percy in the
Like Jack
distance
did when
and
he
called
used
for
the
them
axe to
help.
chop down the beanstalk to prevent the giant from getting him.
Now all 4 engines slammed into the beanstalk.
Hurry!
The beanstalk creaked and groaned. It was about to fall. Thomas closed his eyes, bracing for the crash.
Thomas! Thomas!
Percy,
Thomas
Wercy!
opened his eyes to find 2 rescue engines pulling him upright, putting his 6 little wheels back on the track.
Oh,
Thomas looked around, confused. Percy and James were still there, but the little gold engine was gone. Thomas looked around.
Where's the beanstalk? Beanstalk?
Percy asked.
What beanstalk?
so
Thomas
it
told
was
his
all a
friends about
dream.
everything that had happened. About the beanstalk, the magical world above the clouds, the giant and the special gold engine.
It seems so real.
So
but
it
it must
was
have
a
been a dream.
Aw, bummer.
Percy saw something that made him gasp.
Thomas, look!
What is it,
Thomas's
Percy,
driver
Wercy?
was holding up a single piece of gold-colored coal. Thomas looked amazed.
What?
He didn't know what to say, because it had all been a dream, hadn't it? The end.
Whoa. That was something. It sure was, Fizzle Pop Berry Twist. Yeah, you love to use that name, don't you? Mm-hmm. It's still the most awesome name ever! Pinkie. Sorry. Anywho. We hope you folks enjoyed this story we decided to do for y'all. This has been Twilight Sparkle, Tempest Shadow, or Fizzle Pop Berry Twist, and Pinkie Pie, signing off and saying bye-bye, YouTubers! Happy listening!